What if you had a renewable supply of biogas to cook your meals?
Biogas is the safest gas in the world. It can never explode. Like right now it's on, but once you put it on, it will not explode like LPG gas. So now you put it on.
What if you use the same biogas to heat water in your house?
That's the flame, and you can, if you look at, you can see the water is already steaming. So it's an instant water heater.
And what if all you needed was feeding this plastic bag biodigester some organic waste and have it generate enough biogas for your entire family?
So you just pour in the waste.
In this video, you're going to learn how biogas is produced and how you can use this renewable energy in your home. You'll also discover how you can use this system to run an organic farm or garden just from the biofertilizer generated from the biodigester. Let me be clear, this is not a sponsored video, meaning I didn't get paid by the company to make this video. I published it because I'm passionate about the topic of sanitation and I wanted to share the knowledge with you. I've organized this video in terms of chapters because of its length, so you can watch each section according to your liking. You can also come back later to watch it again and again, and while you're there, feel free to take notes because this is that kind of video. Now, let's start off by discovering the standard model, which is suitable for families of 4 to 6 people.
Yeah, over here now we have our domestic biogas unit. This is how it works. This is the mouth or the inlet. Then everything now gets inside here. Now we have, this is the digester. Yeah, the digester balloon, and you see the way it's swollen. All this is gas. And the digester is placed on a flat surface. So there's no hole underneath. It's on a level surface. So this digester, we cover it with a greenhouse cover. This is the greenhouse cover. And what it does is that it creates a microenvironment. So if you put your hand here, you'll feel there's a lot of warmth coming from this side. And that is created by the greenhouse cover. So it helps to maintain the warmth inside the digester as well as protect the digester, and to find that gas production is maintained at optimum even on cold days or even the wet season. A unique factor about this system is that it runs on any biodegradable waste. So you are not only limited to the use of cow dung. You can use any livestock waste like cow dung, pig dung, chicken dung. If you don't have livestock, you can still use waste like your kitchen vegetable waste, your green waste, food waste, basically anything that is biodegradable.
So you have some waste lying around and you want to pour it inside the biodigester. But before you do that, there's a ratio of mixing which is extremely important to adhere to if you want optimum gas production.
So you mix the waste with water in the ratio 1:1. When you come with half a bucket of any biodegradable waste, the remaining half you fill it with water. So you mix it until it's porridge-like this way, and then you introduce it in the inlet. So this is the process of feeding. So you just pour in the waste. Exactly. So everything has gone inside the digester. Yeah. So this we call it the standard model, is for a family of 4 to 6 people, and with 1 bucket of waste, the 20 kilo bucket of waste, you'll generate all the gas that is required for the small family of 4 to 6. Gas that will be sufficient for cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even extra gas. Even you can like boil water for bathing,
Once you feed the waste inside the biodigester, any old waste that was already inside is pushed further back and back until it exits the biodigester. The company calls this process the cross-flow fermentation process.
So this system is sitting on a flat surface. So you find that in this design, you find that today's waste pushes the waste you fed yesterday. Yesterday's waste pushes the one you fed the other day. So the waste goes digesting and breaking down slowly in batches. And by the time now it comes to this other end, this is how it comes out. Comes out in liquid form completely. You can notice there are no flies or insects. That means also there is no, because there is no food for the insects. Everything has been completely broken down. So we say that the digester is also like a waste management tool. Once everything goes inside the digester, by the time it comes out from the outlet, it's fully broken down. And now what you have here, these are ready to absorb nutrients for the plants. The fertilizer has, now this is considered very rich organic fertilizer, and it has many applications.
One thing that I noticed is that this biodigester needs some kind of space to install. So how big is it and how much space do you need?
This standard model in terms of size, it's 2 meters by 6 meters. That's the space it requires. Yeah. If you don't have, and it's not a must for you to put it on the ground, you can still put it even on a raised platform, and underneath you can still utilize that space. Yeah. So it's a portable system. This is the standard model for small families of 4 to 6 people. This one goes for 80,000, and 80,000, that is the digester, the greenhouse cover. On top of the greenhouse, you had a shade net cover, 20 meters of piping, a double burner stove, delivery, installation, and training.
Like Lewis has said before, the standard model is suitable for 4 to 6 people. But what if you're a family of more than 6 people? Well, you're in luck because there's a model specifically designed for you. And it's appropriately called the extra large model.
This is the extra large model now for large families of, let's say, 10 people, 10 to 12 people. In terms of size, it's 2 meters by 8 meters. Yeah, and this one now produces almost twice the volume of gas than the standard model. And this is how now it looks when it's not covered. Yeah, you can see the digester balloon, how it's swollen. So all this is gas.
One other thing that I really wanted to know is whether a swollen balloon produces enough biogas pressure to reach inside your home without needing an extra pump. The good news is that it does.
Yeah, so this is the where the gas is trapped from, so the middle of the digester, the highest point. And we do the piping, it goes overhead straight to the point of use. So for domestic systems, we provide piping for up to 20 meters from where the digester is to the point of use. So within 20 meters, you'll have good pressure of the gas. It goes for 95,000, which is inclusive of the digester, a greenhouse cover, a shade net cover, a double burner stove, delivery, installation, and training. So it's the whole package.
A challenge that both the standard and extra large models share is that they require horizontal space. So if you live in an apartment or on a plot that doesn't have sufficient space, then it means installing either model is going to be a challenge for you. This is something the company knows about, and they are working on a prototype called the Flexi-Floating Top Model. It's still a work in progress.
So we are also working on an urban biogas model for those people who are living in towns or even in apartments where there's limited space. So basically, there's our pilot project where we have this small digester. It works in a simple way. Have an inlet here. Then inside there are multiple chamber digesters, and the gas. This is now the gas storage balloon, where the gas is trapped, where the gas captures all the gas that is produced from the system. Then right over here we have its outlet. It's a small one, so by the time the waste gets to this stage, what exits here is exits in liquid form. And again, that is very rich organic fertilizer. The gas is piped, and the pipe goes straight to your kitchen or to the point of use. So this is what you are thinking in terms of an urban biogas model. Yeah, work in progress.
In the three previous models that we've discovered, the standard model, the extra large, and the Flexi-Floating Top models, all of them are designed for domestic use. If you're thinking of going commercial, a school, an institution, a children's home, you're going to need a large capacity biogas system, and it's called the T-Rex model.
Over here now we have our large capacity biogas system. We call it the T-Rex. And the T-Rex is designed for farms, for schools, for hotels and restaurants, and basically areas with high energy demand. Yeah, so the T-Rex is basically, it's a multi-chamber digester. Like this chamber 1, chamber 2, chamber 3, chamber 4, chamber 5. So you can actually decide to use, let's say, gas from chamber 2, or maybe when gas from chamber 2, once you see the balloon is inflated, you can close this balloon and you continue using gas stored in the other balloons. Yeah. So it also has, because gas production happens every time, excess gas now is stored in these storage balloons. And they are, we have 2 of them here. So like this one is a T-Rex 30. That means it's a 30 cubic digester. That means it can produce about 30,000 liters of gas, of biogas every day. So this is medium scale. We have small scale digester, which is like half of this digester, that's a 15 cubic. And a large capacity, which is like double of this digester, that's 50 cubic. So depending on your energy requirements and even the waste available, we can always design a digester to meet that capacity. We've installed systems in Kisumu, just in Dunga Beach, running on water hyacinth, and the gas used by people who are doing fish frying just there at the beach. We have systems, large capacity systems in Laikipia running on cactus. Yeah, also these invasive species are also good food for the biogas. They can be managed very easily using the this technology, the T-Rex technology. Yeah, these are just gas meters. We're just measuring the gas production from the domestic units, the large capacity, and the extra large models. Yeah.
Now, let's look at a typical home setup of a biogas system and how you can use it to generate cooking gas in your kitchen or provide hot water in your shower.
So this is how the digester will look like at home. The digester covered with the greenhouse and the shade net cover. Have the gas piping. Yeah. The pipe comes from the highest point of the digester, right in the middle there. This is the gas line, so you can just turn on the gas. It comes and enters in this bottle of water. This, we call it a water trap. Basically what it does, it traps in the moisture that that has traveled with the gas. So the moisture condenses here, then the gas only now travels to the point of use. So we do the piping overhead, and the gas now comes straight to the kitchen right over here. So the gas comes from the digester, travels, is connected to the pipes and comes straight to your double burner stove. So you can just turn it on. So biogas is the safest gas in the world. It can never explode. Like right now it's on, but once you put it on, it will not explode like LPG gas. It's because biogas is methane gas and it's lighter than air. So as soon as it leaks from the source, it blends with the environment and disappears. So now I'll put it on. That's the flame. It's a blue flame. So that means the gas is really combusting. And yeah, that, okay. Put the sufuria on top. So the blue flame means your sufuria won't catch soot. Yeah. You can even put this other on. So this is clean gas from your kitchen vegetable waste, your food waste, and animal waste. Again, you get renewable gas, which is biogas. So another use of the gas is in water heating, and in here we have the water heater or shower, and it operates in a very simple way. So gas from the digesters, one gas line goes to the kitchen. You can have a T-junction, and the gas now is piped to this water heater. So this is the gas connection, and this is the water connection. How it works is you just turn on the gas, and then you turn on the water. And as soon as you turn on the water, underneath here, if you come close, you'll notice a blue flame underneath there. That's the flame, and you can, if you look, you can see the water is already steaming. So it's an instant water heater. It has two regulators. This for regulating the heat, and this for adjusting the flow of water. You can turn it to be, it can turn to, even to steam levels. Like when maybe you are preparing even water for, let's say, milking cows, or for defeathering chicken, or you can even adjust it and set it to be nicely warm for the shower. Yeah. So this is another use of the biogas again.
It's cool and all to have an instant water heater in your shower. But if you're like me, you're probably wondering how safe it is to use around your bathroom, especially when you're taking a shower. I guess the simple question is this: is it safe?
The good thing about this water heater or shower is that it's very safe. There can never be an explosion in here because biogas is non-explosive. You can never get electrocuted in here because now you're only having gas and water coming in, so there's no electricity. It's very safe. The water heater can heat up about 7 liters of water in a minute, so it's very efficient. So the water heater, you can use the gas connection and the water connection, and here you can have the water piped to where the water is required. Maybe if it's in the chicken house or the cow shed, or you can even put your shower, and now you turn it now into a nice bathroom. So it's multi-purpose. You can have the water heater pipe straight to your shower head in your bathroom. Yeah, as soon as you turn on the water gets heated. I mean the water heater turns on, and the hot water comes straight to your water heater.
It will cost you 45,000 shillings to set up the instant water heater in your shower. That cost also includes a gas pump, piping, and installation charges. So it's the entire package. Remember the cross-flow fermentation process?
In this design, you find that today's waste pushes the waste you fed yesterday. Yesterday's waste pushes the one you fed the other day. So the waste goes digesting and breaking down slowly in batches.
What comes out at the end of the biodigester is a liquid fertilizer which is very rich in organic nutrients for plants. This biofertilizer is absolutely vital when you want to run a farm or garden that is purely organic.
Okay, so now this is the outlet of the Flexi Biogas system, and you notice by the time it gets out from here, it exits in liquid form. You can notice there are no insects or flies, and that is because everything has been completely broken down inside the digester. So what you have here now, these are nutrients that are ready for absorption by plants. So this is considered very rich organic fertilizer, and it has many applications. Since it's coming out in liquid, you can just apply it directly to the roots of plants. You can spray it on the leaves of plants. It acts as a very good foliar or an insect repellent.
Now, let's discover how you can use this liquid biofertilizer in a vertical garden setup, which the company calls the copycat farming model.
Now here we are at our small farm where we are practicing climate smart regenerative agriculture by having corn gardens this way, and we have the shade net cover on top. Yeah. So the shade net, when it comes to farming, a lot of people, they are used to planting things in the greenhouse cover, and that application, it's quite expensive and everything. But in our system here, you see, we are just using a shade net cover and poles and the vertical gardens. So you find that you can generate quite a lot of food in a very small space with the corn gardens. And then now the shade net, what it does, it helps in reducing the sun's intensity. So you find that even when you water your plants, the rate of evaporation is very low. So you find that you are using you're using little amounts of water when watering your plants.
The biofertilizer is first diluted with water before watering the plants. And an additional benefit is that it's an excellent insect repellent.
Sasa hii ni fertilizer inatoka kwa digester, inaitwa biofertilizer. Sasa hii tumetoa kwa tangi, tuna dilute na maji, alafu inakuja kwa direct kwa shamba. Ndio namwagilia hivi. Inasaidia mimea kukua haraka. Unajua zikikua haraka inasaidia sana, zinakuwa faster sana. Ndio sababu tunamwagilia hivyo namna hiyo. After 2 weeks utakuta zimeinuka vizuri sana kwa sababu ya biofertilizer.
If you've ever had fantasies and dreams of growing your own food organically without the use of needing external pesticides and fertilizers, it's good to know that this liquid biofertilizer can support various crops.
Mimea yote iko sawa. Mimea yote iko sawa. Tukimwagilia hiyo mimea yote unaona vile iko health sababu ya biofertilizer. Inasaidia mimea vizuri kabisa. Ndio tunaipenda kuitumia. Pesticide hii biofertilizer inasaidia pesticide haiui but inajaribu kufukuza ziende. Zikienda halafu tuseme ukiwa na pilipili chili utaweza boil, ukiboil utaweza spray, hiyo inaua kabisa hiyo pesticide. Lakini biofertilizer hiyo ni kumake, yani isikule plants sana, ati isiwe na dudu kabisa, ati inaenda kabisa hiyo dudu, inafukuza kabisa hiyo biofertilizer. Biofertilizer tunaweka mara 2 kwa wiki. Ukiweka Monday utaweza Saturday, vile namwagilia hii ni siku ya 2 Saturday. Tena weka biofertilizer. Hii vertical garden utaweza panda hata mahindi. Ukipanda mahindi alafu weka hii biofertilizer, inakuja haraka sana, vizuri sana. Unamwagilia namna hiyo tu. Ni mahindi inakuwa vizuri sana. Ndio sababu tunapenda sana mambo ya biofertilizer. Mwenye anaunda hizi ni mimi ndio nazitengeneza. Naweka ring 3 So unaona vile ziko zinafuatana mpaka 3 ya juu. Sasa hii vertical yote inachukua compost 25 kg. Halafu mchanga ni 15 wheelbarrow. Halafu unawacha nafasi ya kuweka compost kama 3 inches. Halafu unachanganya. Ukichanganya basi halafu unaanza transplant mimea.
If you're interested in setting up a vertical garden in your backyard, it will cost you 2,000 shillings. That's for the vertical garden alone. But if you want to scale things up, say by putting up overhead tanks, the shade net cover, a solar submersible pump, and a drip irrigation system, the company can customize a quote to suit your needs.
So this is the biofertilizer. We've collected it in the tanks, and in one of these tanks now we have a small submersible pump. This pump is attached to this solar panel over here. So when the sun is shining like right now, what we do, we just turn it to face the sun. And what happens is the pump turns on, and we pump this fertilizer. It goes to an overhead tank over there, the overhead black tank over there. Then the blue tank, we fill it with water, and then the mixture now flows by gravity straight now to the drip irrigation system. So each cone garden has its own drip line. And find that now you are with a drip line, you're saving a lot of water, and it's very easy to manage. For the solar, again, you find it's usually very sensitive. Once you put even the slightest shadow this way, you can feel the performance of the pump is reducing. So the solar must usually you must put it in an area where it's clearly visible to the sun without any shade, so that you can and even an area where you can access it and wipe it when it gathers dust, so that the efficiency and performance can remain very high. So for the copycat farming model, we have these vertical gardens with a drip irrigation system, and the biofertilizer and the solar pump. So that whole system, again, we customize it and according to what the client requires. Yeah. So it comes together with the shade net cover, the gardens, the drip irrigation, the solar, and the pump, the whole package.
Now, what if you're not interested in biogas, but instead you're looking for a better alternative to the traditional pit latrine? And what if this alternative can provide you the nutritious liquid biofertilizer which you can use to grow plants like trees around your farm, school, or property? Introducing the BioSun system.
You know, when it comes to managing human waste, we've been brought up knowing about the pit latrine technology. And the pit latrine, you know, it works like the old biogas system because it's one big hole, fresh waste always mixing with old waste. That's why you feel the smell. Sometimes it fills up, the exhauster, you know, comes and empties it. But our solution now for managing human waste looks this way. So it's prefabricated. Like this is the outer skeleton, actually making another toilet similar. It's very simple. First, there's no digging, there's no hole underneath. The toilet is it's water-based. This is its simple flush system. Just you know, just let the water in. It uses very little water. Can use even just pour it down the toilet. So it's clean. You can notice there are no insects or flies. So now the magic happens behind here. So this is just behind the toilet. There's this orange pipe here. That's the waste pipe that brings now the waste now to these tanks. And these tanks, they act now as digesters. So the waste gets into the first tank, which acts, this is the first tank that acts as the separation chamber to trap in the inorganics like sanitary towels, diapers. So the waste gets into these tanks, and these tanks, they act as, these are multi-chamber digesters. They are completely sealed on the top, so the waste decomposes anaerobically. Gets to the first tank, it breaks down, it decomposes, the tank fills up, the waste pours into the second tank, the same process of decomposition continues, gets to the third tank. By the time now the fertilizer gets to this last tank, what comes out, it exits in liquid form this way. You can notice there are no insects or flies. So this is the outlet. We call it a freight drain, which is just basically a pipe with holes at intervals. And we channel it to go along the fence or in the lawn or even in the garden. Because with this system, we install it in schools, and at those holes we plant trees, especially fruit trees, so they can take advantage of the 24-hour irrigation system. But this system basically, it never fills up, it never requires emptying. We have for domestic use and also for areas with high population, like in slums, in apartments, in schools. And it's very much affordable to build it. And you can build it in areas with high water tables where you can't really dig a pit latrine, or in rocky areas. So it's very versatile in its application. So, and this system, we call it the Biosan, which stands for biosanitation. It's basically a system that manages waste, human waste, in a sanitary manner. So this biosanitation system we have for domestic use and for being used by many people. So for the domestic one, it goes for 90,000. This one for being used by many people, the price is dependent on also the number of users. So like this one is being used by about 20 people daily. So the digester component part of it costed in the region of about 200,000. So let's say if it's in a school of 1,000 kids, you'll have bigger tanks, to accommodate the number of users. If it's for domestic use, you'll just have smaller tanks. So we always customize it according to the number of users.
There's so much potential in biogas technology. Since it's a renewable source of energy, you can see how biogas can change the lives of people who really need it the most. Think about remote villages, children's shelters, schools. What positive impact having a biogas digester can have in such areas or institutions. Also, think about yourself. With the ever-rising cost of LPG gas, charcoal, and food, the expensive economy we live in, imagine using your waste to not only produce biogas, but also generate enough liquid biofertilizer to run your own organic farm or garden. Talk about being self-sufficient, right? I know it's a lot to think about, but at the same time, there's so much to gain. So much. Normally, this would be the end of the video, but today, I'd like to leave you with a profound parting shot from the founder and CEO of Flexi Biogas. See you in the next video.
So as you can see, there is just so much that can happen with biogas. It's right there in our faces. Can we start learning how to nurture it? Can we stop cutting down the trees and using them for firewood? Can we train our kids not or to unthink or to unlearn how to light a charcoal jiko, how to unlearn how to light a firewood jiko, how to use that time spent collecting firewood more resourcefully, especially for the women and children that spend hours a day collecting firewood. How can we repurpose all of our waste from our markets, from our kitchens, from our restaurants, on farm, the farm produce that doesn't get collected by the broker? How can we start looking at using contemporary irrigation systems instead of relying on the weather? How can we rethink everything we do? Stop following the textbooks. The textbooks are old. They were written 30, 40 years ago. How can we rewrite the books on waste, the books on agriculture, the books on energy? So I'm going to leave that with the children. We want the kids to think outside the box. and start coming up with new innovative ways of redoing things that haven't been done before.